But basically, what I was getting at is that the number of podcasts are like, people say, is it too late to get into podcasting? And it's like 4 million podcasts or whatever.
Yep.
But only like a certain amount are dropping this many episodes a week. Mm-hmm. Only a certain amount is actually dropping episodes now.
Right.
And then only a certain amount is like doing like bi-weekly or weekly episodes. So the percentage of actual active podcasts is much lower
than 4 million.
Rather than like you see like, damn, there's 4 million podcasts and people are actually gonna listen to my content, when it's like, shit, there actually isn't really as much as you think it is, really, you know? Isn't, so
it might be 4 million podcasts, but there's like 10 billion people in the world, right? You know, so if there's something out there that you want to listen to, you know, you can find it.
Especially like, and then there was like stats that said like, okay, compared to there's 4 million podcasts, but compared to YouTube, like YouTubers, way more YouTubers, way more blogs, way more like I think that was it actually, but you know, there's more artists. This shit, like people are still consuming their time with something.
Man, facts.
Like, so if you want to start a podcast, it's never too late. Like, everybody get into streaming.
Yeah, you should do whatever you want.
Right? That's like the intro. What's the song you guys use for the intro?
Never too late.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that beat is hard.
It is.
Shout out to Tommy and Bill. Yeah,
I was like, I thought somebody was gonna start rapping.
you got a quick 15.
You got any bars?
Man, they got enough room on there too. Yeah, so is that just like kind of like the little YouTube free beats? Or is that
no, the homie Bill Tiki made that beat for. He made it a long time ago. Yeah. And I was like, man, I really fuck with this beat. I'm gonna ask him if I could just make it the podcast beat. Man, he just let me have it.
Yeah, see, I made my own like podcast beat, but this has been like the first year, 2025, I didn't make any beats.
Cause you've worked in music before, haven't you?
Yeah. Man, next week got a project. We did like a 6-track project.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've stopped kind of doing it, man. Because the podcast takes so much time, like editing the clips. Full time working and editing the clips. So
yeah. So what got you? What do you say? Like, you're just a lover of music, or like this? That what got you into it originally?
I just like to create. Yeah, I like to create, but I mean, I love music though too. We can talk music.
Yeah. What's your like?
I like your playlist too, by the way. You had like Wet My Whistle?
Yeah.
You had some like old school. Did you hear this? What did you think about his playlist?
It was a Sunday cleaning. You know, this is what you put on when your mom was cleaning the crib. So what's like one song you hear? You like, this reminds me of like when I was asleep on Saturday.
Right.
I hear this song. I know we gotta clean the crib.
Love and happiness. Love make you do wrong. Make you do right.
No, facts. Did your people play any specific songs that remind you like, yeah, we definitely cleaning the crib today?
Man, you know what? I can't no songs come to mind about like the cleaning songs like as a kid, but I mean, I just would just put my headphones in or just sometimes just try to get it done. But I can't think of like any like cleaning songs.
Yeah.
In the house
My mom was playing Tone. Anniversary. I'm like, if I hear that anniversary, I'm like, damn, I know I gotta scrub this toilet today.
That's what you compared to, or what you think of whenever you hear that song.
Yeah, man. You're supposed to think of love and matrimony. I'm thinking of cleaning the crib. Yeah.
No, what's crazy though, now to think about, like when I clean the shower, bro, like the music I want to hear when I clean the shower is like dubstep, bro.
That's crazy.
Because I'm gonna scrub the mess out of the shower. It's gonna be looking all white.
Yeah, I feel that.
You feel me? So it's like that's like the only time I listen to dubstep is when I'm scrubbing that shower, bro.
So what you say, like your producing style isn't more? What's your style? Would you say,
bro? Like Skrillex, bro. I think he's a dubstep. Skrillex is actually a really dope producer, like underrated. Just like the way he does his drum pattern, the way he's not afraid to use instruments. Because a lot of hip hop producers like. I just haven't been inspired by like hip hop beats nowadays. It's like so simple. It's like it's been like so trapped, like the same hi-hat, the same snare, clap 808. There's no creativity. Like back in the day, they had like the West Coast beat, down South beat, East Coast. It was like variety. It all sounded a little bit different. Now it's like everything is all trapped. Like just nobody's really creative production wise. It's just like. They just sound the same.
I know Skrillex. I'm not ultra familiar with the music, but I know he's paid. I know he does so many projects and like not stuff that his name is on it, but his name is in the fine
attached
print
to
at
it,
the
yeah.
bottom.
Yeah, he
you
does
know
a lot
what
of the
I'm saying?
weekend stuff, but like Pharrell is obviously like he's trying to
Another
place him
guy.
again. Pharrell is going to be up there definitely. I mean, I can't put Kanye on the list no more. Kanye's just been doing too much.
So we talked about this.
Kanye's been doing
But
too
is he
much,
like,
man.
but okay, so Kanye West, like R. Kelly, like Diddy, like people are in these situations that they find themselves in.
Right.
Do we throw away the art?
No, I don't think we should.
Okay.
But
Church.
what do you think, Dar?
I think the same. I'm not like I know I can separate R. Kelly from Robert. You know what I'm saying? I can separate Puffy from Diddy. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
So and Kanye, but man, brother Kanye, man, it's not even like he just crazy. Like, and I say crazy, I don't want to say crazy because
he maybe ain't harm nobody. You know, like physically, I guess.
He's
You know.
not actually crazy, but like he just you know he do what he want, he say what he want.
He's bipolar, man. Like he's like literally
yeah.
bipolar, and then too he's autistic. You know, so like you put those two combined, and then he's a Gemini. Like if people want to get into that, so he's bipolar, he's autistic, and he's a Gemini. So like you see like some of the Geminis, you got Tupac, you got Trump, you got Jordan Peterson. Like Geminis, they're gonna speak what they want to say. You know?
So for us, are you into the
Astrology?
The astrology.
Yeah.
Nessa is
And
you know
she put you on it.
She kind of put me on to it, man. And then even like XV put me on a little bit to it too. But I'm skeptical of everything, man. I like patterns, so like some of the stuff is like, all right, this makes sense. And like you could read like some stuff, you like, yo, this sounds just like me, but I'm not gonna predict and base my whole life
Right.
on it. You feel me? Like I think it's just kind of
It's not a scapegoat of who you are.
It's a tool in your utility belt.
exactly.
there we go.
Exactly. It's not something I'm gonna be like, oh, I can't talk to this person because they're this. I'm not gonna go that far, man. I think it's just like cool to see like patterns and different things.
I got you for sure.
Yeah.
Man, well, we already got started today, but
As always.
welcome to another edition of the Workshop Podcast. Let's get a round of applause for that.
Sure.
I ain't got my glasses on, so I hope I hit the right button.
That was our prescription.
That's our
We just-
prescription.
Yeah. What happened to the glasses? The
I just ain't got them on. They in the room. I just ain't got them on.
If that's not a telltale sign, this is in the morning. Well, I guess it's the afternoon.
Now,
we
yeah.
started in the morning.
Yeah. We going now. But you know,
sure.
we got a special guest on the workshop today, man. Coming from the Fully Connected podcast. Fully Connected Counseling. If you need a therapist
sir.
to tap in, you know, there's not too many therapists that look like him around the city. So if you need somebody that looks like you, can relate to you, we got somebody in the building for you. Chris Jones, what's going on,
Man,
bro?
what's up, man? I appreciate you guys having me. Appreciate you guys having me on the pod, man. It's been
bro.
a
Thanks for
pleasure
coming
so
on.
far.
Yeah, long time coming for sure.
For sure, man.
Yeah, because I did your pod. What was this? Last year now.
Man,
At this
yeah,
point,
yeah, 24.
Yeah,
24,
24, man.
man.
So
It was
it was a
cool.
good time. All right, so we're like, and we'll talk about it earlier. Like we're one of the couple podcasts in the city that's going, that's pretty active. You know, especially that black podcast for sure. You know, we just had Sam on.
Yup.
You know, Fred out there doing his thing as well. But like, what do you think about the podcast scene, or like just like the scene in Wichita when it comes to content creation?
Bro, I
Like,
think
what's
it's
that?
dope, man. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of people creating content that are trying to do it, bro. And like, I think there's a lot of people being very consistent. Like, you guys are consistent.
Yeah.
You know, so I respect that, man. So I think the podcast scene is growing in Wichita, man. Like, just like nationwide too. Like, I mean, it's the golden era of podcasts.
Yeah.
Like
Everybody
it
got
really
an opinion
is,
is the thing. Yeah.
Everybody got one, man. So I mean, I think it's cool, like conversations to be able to have, and you know what I mean, people talking, chopping it up.
Yeah. So what got your start? Like, what made you be like, okay, podcast? This is what I want
Man,
to do.
so a lot of people don't know, but I was back at K-Sun 95.9 back in 2016, and I had like pretty much like the Breakfast Club kind of like set up. I would DJ, and then at the top of the hour, I would interview guests. Like Wynn came on the podcast way back then, and we interviewed DJ Carbon and some other cats, and Sam too. Yeah. Sam came on there as well. This is like 8-9 years ago, and we did that for a year. Then I started working full time, and I had my son, and then I just kind of like, I just stopped it.
Yeah.
You know, so I finally picked it back up back in 24, and then here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
You said you're a father. You know,
Yeah.
Father's Day just passed. Did you go out of town for Father's Day?
Briefly, yeah. Just a real quick spill out of
For
town.
sure.
Nothing too major.
Yeah. So
For
I mean,
sure.
you're a father.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like the love is reciprocated from Mother's Day to Father's Day?
Dang, man. I think so.
Okay.
I think so, but I mean, obviously, mom's gonna get a lot more love. You already know that.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like I always said, I think, and this might be a little bit off. I mean, still on the topic. I always said, I think for a lot of people, being a stepdad is harder than being a stepmom. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the difficult part for a lot of folks. But as far as the Father's Day, like, I think they still get love.
Yeah. No.
I think the fathers get love.
Yeah. So I feel like being a stepdad is like, you know, very.
I know you talking about you want to be a stepdad.
I don't
like,
want to be. But because I feel like you coming in and then you're expected to like set the culture or set the tone for the crib. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what she expect. But then the kids is like, "Nigga, I'm not letting you do that. Like, you're not about to come over here. Then you about to, you know, step over what we got going on.
Discipline like how you want.
That's the problem, man.
Yeah.
You know, you got a heathen. The teachers at the school know he's a heathen.
Right.
You know, your grandma know he a heathen. I know he a heathen, but you don't know. When Bernie Mac said, "I will come over to your house and fuck your kids up."
Nah, but
man, rest in peace, Bernie.
Rest in peace, man.
Bro.
But he definitely like. No, you hit a good point because like you can only do so much though.
Yeah,
you know,
because being a stepmom is kind of like you can still be able to
they
do
still
that.
got a mom though.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
most of the time they still got their mama.
For sure.
Right, the kids still got their mama. Like usually, when you the stepdad, you picking up where somebody else left off.
And I'm not gonna say this. This don't apply to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna say it. But a lot of y'all ladies, you know, Lil Pedro got like 8-9 different men he just see come in and out of this motherfucker. You know, he don't know.
He don't know who uncle. He don't know who uncle is.
So now on a knife, nigga, he like, man, fuck this motherfucker.
Yeah, you just gonna leave like the rest of them.
He trying to do the right thing, the knife nigga, but it's the knife nigga.
You gotta set a good example, man. You gotta set a good example.
No, and I've talked to like women that got kids, like a lot of them, and I haven't got to the point to where I met their kids.
Have you dated any women with kids?
Yeah, I've talked to women with kids. But like I've never got to the point to actually meet the kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
okay, yeah.
You know, I think they're good. Usually women do a good job of like, okay, protecting that part of it until it's serious.
For sure.
I think I would judge you more if I was like first time meeting or a couple times linking, your kid is around or me and your kid, you know, like
a little suspect.
You got me pulling up a little homie on the PlayStation. I'm just like sneaking tiptoeing behind him. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that's kind of, you know, a suspect living, you know. I couldn't take, don't think I could do that, man.
No, I think too, like just like even what I see like in my clinical practice, man, there's a lot of like parents who, you know, use like dating to like bypass the fact of like their own responsibilities, you know, because sometimes you have like somebody who's like maybe like a mom and they're still trying to have like hot girl summer, but they're approaching 38. It's like, hey, who's gonna be there who's gonna be watching the kids if everybody's just out here
Hot girl
having
summer
fun?
at 38 is crazy.
Hot girl summer, yeah.
I believe it though.
Yeah, facts.
It happens,
You never
but,
too
like,
old to have a hot girl summer,
Man,
but
that's real though, man. But I just think, you know, you just got to take your responsibility, man, and watch your kids, man.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to have no bag, you know, little baby kids running around and trying to date them or whatnot. man.
yeah. So
Ladies, watch your kids. Fellas, take care of
your kids. For sure. We talking about Father's Day. Yeah, a lot of you niggas, man, for Father's Day, y'all ain't get celebrated Father's Day.
Didn't deserve shit.
They talking about the phone work both ways for a 5-year-old.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So,
That's
yeah,
crazy,
man.
bro.
If you was a good father this Father's Day, if you've been a good father all year, happy Father's Day to y'all, man.
shouts out
Happy
to the
belated
fathers,
Father's Day
man.
for sure.
Shouts out to fathers.
It was just Juneteenth weekend. You know, we went out there and, you know, played kickball. Got it done for the Juneteenth ICT. You know, it was a good experience though. I went out there and I had a lot of fun.
Y'all won, but at what cost?
Okay, you guys won.
Yeah, we won. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of
on
blood,
the team?
sweat, and tears. Just a lot of homies like just for crew. Like nigga, we play pick up basketball with our knew since we was young, and then Cargill had a team, so you know I couldn't let Cargill win on Juneteenth. You know, because
Get out of here.
for sure. But do y'all have? And I feel like, speaking on Juneteenth, I feel like my grandma has always talked about Juneteenth and how it's like a tradition and stuff, but it's never been like. I feel like now people are making it a bigger deal, making it more relevant, making it more like a thing. But I think it's hard for our generation to come around and make it we're making it a bigger
tough.
thing now. But now that's a national holiday, I feel like people are more conscious of it.
Right, since 2021, that's
Right.
become a national. That's like it's just a new national holiday.
Right.
It's crazy.
But
to think.
it's been something throughout the black community
absolutely.
for years. But now it's just really started to be something that's known throughout everybody. You know, there's still people like, what's Juneteenth? Like, what does it even mean? Like, why, what day, what's the significance of this date? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of people don't know, like, that, you know, July 4th was Independence Day,
Right.
but it wasn't for us. We wasn't able, black people weren't free in the South until June 19th of, the following years.
They didn't have phones back then that just call down there.
Be like, hey, we free.
Y'all actually free. You know?
Yeah.
Of course, if you're the slave master, you're like,
That's
well,
crazy.
I'm not gonna tell him either.
That's crazy.
So it was like the Boondocks episode. Nigga, you get mail. Nigga, you can read. Nigga, you can read. Yeah.
Crazy.
That's what I like about you guys' podcast. You guys be like having you guys are funny, bro. Like you guys really could do like comedy because I did a lot of people don't know, but I did some like stand up comedy at the Looney Bin back when they were on 21st and
Oh,
Woodlawn.
word?
Remember when Looney Bin was only about
Over there,
I would go up there
lounge now.
Right, it's shut down now. It's shut down now, but I would go up there and just do like some open mic night. Nothing too serious, but you guys are funny. Like I know Darwin, I'll be watching the show and Darwin be cracking
But I
jokes.
feel like
My parents seen Dio Hughley at the Looney Bin, I believe.
Oh really?
Yeah, so
Dio?
they had some. Yeah, it had some a hit in there. Yeah.
I think the best part of comedy for me is like the storytelling.
Yeah.
Like when you
yes,
can tell a
yes.
good story and make
Yeah,
it super
make it
funny.
funny.
That's I don't think I'm a great storyteller. Like I think I'm good like conversation. I can make some people laugh, but like just telling stories and going up there on the mic, I don't know if I could do something like that.
It's
difficult.
pressure when you got to entertain people when
I could do a skit,
ain't nobody
maybe.
sitting right here right now.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, I could do a skit or something like that. You know, keep it at that.
It's tough, man. It is tough getting up there, bro. But
Yeah, I need a lot of prep time. I'm like Batman.
I could see Darwin doing it though, for real. I could
that
see him
nigga's
up there
funny,
doing
bro.
some comedy for
Man,
sure.
maybe someday. Maybe after we, do something with this first, you know.
So did y'all have like what's y'all thoughts on like Juneteenth overall as a holiday compared to like the July 4th? Like do y'all have like y'all gonna celebrate both? Y'all only celebrating one or the other, or
Man,
like y'all
that's
gonna
real.
just
I'll let Chris go first.
Man, that's
You
interesting.
can.
Because I know some people who celebrate both, and some people only celebrate one. I think it just depends on their family, like you know, because the 4th, like it's sometimes you might do it for the stuff for the kids, like have the fireworks and whatnot, and then like a lot of people are off on the holiday. But I mean, I think it's just it just kind of depends, honestly. But I mean. Hey, it's another day off. It's another day off. But I think a lot of people, especially in our community, are still like mentally have this mental incarceration. This mental like they're not really free mentally. You feel me? So they're still incarcerated mentally. So it's like we need to figure out how we can be free all around. Because like it's great. Like it's great that we've been free from the slavery, but we got to be free from just our bad habits too.
I mean, because it's not even not a generational thing; it's a systematic thing. Niggas have been systematically oppressed for many years, and still is. Especially with and we'll get to what's going on in the world right now as well a little bit. But yeah, so do you celebrate Do you celebrate Juneteenth? Do you celebrate the 4th, or is it kind of like you just going with the flow?
We'll do both, man. I mean, some people might be like, "Oh man, if you celebrate Juneteenth, like." I'm not gonna be like ultra pro black. Like it's still like a holiday I grew up with, July 4th. Like we have a lot of good memories, popping off fireworks, having the Roman candle wars and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna just like get rid of it. You feel me? But I mean,
yeah, for sure.
some people, you can leave your comments below.
Yeah. Whatever you think. What's your take on it?
I'll say specifically, I can't speak to all this. I've only ever lived in Wichita. I lived in Ohio way back once upon a time. But Wichita, Kansas does a really good job with the Juneteenth, I think.
Oh, for
and
sure.
they always have. Like the Juneteenth, the
Niggas always know about the parade.
They always know about the parade. They always do the parade, and the parade is always something you can go to and have a good time as a 29-year-old, as a 30-year-old, as a 40-year-old, as a 50-year-old.
Right.
You can go there and have a good time. Now they do need to, maybe clean it up a little bit, but it's always good to go. They always got some shit you need. And about 4th of July, I'm gonna be honest with you. when 2016 when our president that's now the president got in office, like they try to make niggas boycott 4th of July. 4th of July is my favorite goddamn holiday. I love shooting off fireworks. I love having a day off. I love eating barbecue. I love doing 4th of July shit. It's the summertime, so yeah, I celebrate the shit out of the 4th of July, and I celebrate Juneteenth just the same. You know, it's to me it's you know. The 4th of July, you know, when they wrote the Declaration, you know, they, you know, did all the words and they said all the things, you know, they wasn't talking about black people. That's what they like to say. And they wasn't, you know, for the most part. It really wasn't. But that don't change the fact that, you know, black people died for this country. Yeah. You know.
We're still American.
Yeah, we're American.
Yes, we are still American.
You know, and they can't change that, you know. So
I think that's what they want, though.
That's what they want.
If niggas was like, oh, we not celebrating the 4th, they'd be like, good.
It's not your celebrate but it is. Don't let these motherfuckers fool you. This shit is our shit just as much as it is.
Now I will say, if you coming out, now I do celebrate the 4th, right? I'm not big into fireworks or whatever, but if that's your thing, if I had kids and they wanted something, I would get some. I'm not going crazy. Like, I'm not about to spend like the rent on it.
I'm the opposite. I'm like that.
Yeah, but do your thing. I'm not, I'm not hating. Do your thing. But any excuse to hop on the grill, kick it with the homies, not go to work, celebrate, people, take a shower or two. I'm with it. I'm with it.
There we go, bro.
It's a good time.
But you coming out dressed like the American flag.
Uncle Sam.
Yeah, you come out dressed like the American flag. You still going to Gap and getting the 4th of July flag shirts. It's 2025 now. Now we might be talking. We might have to stop you there for sure. Now, again, the 4th, I get it. Like I'm not big into the firework part or like the American holiday. Go America, but I'm gonna celebrate. You got to. It's a week, especially this year. It's on Friday,
man.
And the city.
You're right. It's on Friday.
It's on Friday, man. So now you ain't even gotta worry about getting up in the morning the next day. Yeah, you can still pop fireworks. Oh, we here. When is okay? Enough with the fucking fireworks. When is it too early to start? Because you see the tents is coming up now. They got a tent right outside. Right outside the crib.
That's a good question. Firework. If you letting off artillery shells after the 4th, there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? There should be no boom explosions going on after the 4th. You know what I'm saying? Say that for January 1st. But if you got the little missile, pew pew pew, I'm good with that. On the 5th and the 6th.
It's crazy to think too, like the mental health aspect of it too, like because the Independence Day is supposed to be kind of like for the veterans and just like people that fought for the country too. But a lot of them, man, like some of them don't like it because it's just like how the sound
catch a flashback.
Yeah, flashback, all that trauma, bro. So it's like that part is like really like interesting, like
Now he done went and got the M16 from the bag.
No, for real, that's that PTSD.
So especially middle of the night, you sleeping. Yeah, bro. I give you one more day after the 4th. I give you the 5th. The 6th, I don't want to hear shit else. So you have from the 2nd to the 5th. I'm calling a neighborhood watch after that.
Man, because now you start hearing noises. Like, right. I remember the episode. I think the one Darwin was on. You guys were talking about the thunder. Yeah, and like the rain. And he was like, it felt like the thunder so loud. I feel like you got shot. I was like, that's hilarious. Yeah. That's how it be though, man. It feel like that.
So, you have your own
private practice.
Private practice for therapy. You're a licensed therapist,
yeah,
right?
Licensed therapist. Been doing.
You're in a relationship,
yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
But how is it dating as you're a therapist, right?
Like when I was single.
When you were single, when you were dating,
man.
How it like. Some people say dating a therapist is like a nightmare.
They always try to psychologize
or something. I don't know. Man, I'm not sure, but like
if you're running away from your problems.
Yeah. So
because
what's it like for you dating as a therapist when you were dating? He's in a relationship now,
For sure. But I would say like when I was like going on first dates, it sucked because I wouldn't tell people what I would do.
Yeah.
I just say, I work in the mental health field, but then eventually they catch on to it. But I just always been a very like inquisitive person, just wanting to ask questions. But now you on the first date, you ask a question. Now it's like, oh, you trying to therapize me? You trying to No, I'm not trying to do none of that, man. We're just having a conversation. But as far as dating, like it can be, some people want to date you to get free therapy. So it's like, we're not about to do some people might.
So that happened before.
Yes, it has happened, bro.
That's crazy.
It has happened.
That's crazy.
But I mean, if you're running away from a lot of like your inner child problems, man, it's always going to pop up in your romantic relationships. So it's like, regardless of what profession you date, like it's going to pop up. But I think some people might just try to use that as a reason to, not take accountability for their own stuff, So I'm not going to treat my partner like a client.
Church.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's my partner.
Do you think that, or even though you are there, have you still felt for like the red flags? Like even though you can die, you probably be able to diagnose it because you know that's your field, right? But have you still been like,
sure.
yeah, fuck it anyway, like you got for the red flags,
for sure, absolutely, man. Because at the end of the day, we're human. Like a lot of times, people they want to use that. Oh, you're a therapist, kind of like cars, so they expect like you're supposed to be perfect,
right? Okay,
I can't have a beard because I'm a therapist. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here?
Damn.
But I mean, you want to be. It's just almost like kind of like a pastor. Like if the pastor want to go to a Lil Wayne concert, that's gonna be a problem for him. You feel me? So it's just like I think sometimes people forget that we're human. Like we're not perfect. You know what I mean?
I got a question because I recently I'm not against therapy. I'm not for therapy. I'm
sure.
just if you like therapy, you should do it. So I seen a thing. You said that people go to therapy, and what you do at therapy, you talk about your problems, right? And so if you do therapy, obviously people probably can't afford to do therapy, have a session every single day, but maybe once a week, twice a week, whatever it is. So you go in and you talk about your problems for an hour or or two, and then you do that every week. Is that healthy to just go in and talk about your problems all the time?
No.
Never, be able to move past it?
That's kind of the thing. There's a lot of misconceptions about therapy. Like, think of it like going to the gym. Like, people think just because you in the gym that you making gains. Like, there's not going to be this transformation if you're not really lifting weight. And so sometimes people come into therapy, they just to say, like, I've been here in therapy. Just like you go to the gym, you see, like, that girl taking a picture in the mirror just to show that she's at the gym.
She at the gym. You
right,
get
but
that
she
with
ain't really doing nothing.
Or they be in them they be in them workout videos or the group workouts.
Right,
and when the camera go out, they going hard. The camera turn off. They hands on the hip, hands on the knees.
That's crazy. People would do that with therapy.
Absolutely, man. Because people say, "Oh yeah, I've been in therapy," but it's like, okay, but are you making progress? If you have a competent therapist. I'm not just going to have somebody come in there just sitting and we're just shooting the breeze, bro. Like, we're going to get to work. Like, my job is not to be liked. Like, we're going to get to it in a non-judgmental way, but at some point we got to talk about, like, what are the things you are doing that are not getting you to where you want to go? So, like, there are those clients who want to just come in there and just vent, but you have to be able to lower yourself and lower your ego to be able to get the information needed so you can be able to learn and grow. But some people have misconceptions about therapy, and so then they go back and then they share their bad experience with everybody, and then it kind of messes up for therapy. Maybe like somebody for yourself to think like, oh, okay, they didn't do anything. You feel me? Just like somebody could go to the North Y and be like, man, I was going to North Y for a year, man, I didn't do nothing. But like, were you? It's just like church.
What was you doing in there?
Think about people go to church. You're like, man, I go to church, but they're still a crappy person.
Yeah, facts.
Some
people that be in church the most be the worst people.
Yeah.
Just because your attendance in therapy has nothing to do about your transformation. You feel me? So it's just like, you could attend therapy, you could attend church, you could attend going to the Y, but are you participating? Are you doing the work? Because if not, you're not making the gains in whichever environment. So it's just like, I have clients who have good success stories, and have clients that if they don't make success, I'm gonna fire myself. I'm like, hey, we're gonna have to stop this because you're not making the progress, unfortunately.
The end goal, not to cut you off.
No, you're good, bro.
The end goal of therapy is you want people you want a client to come back and keep coming back and keep coming. Obviously, financially that would be good, but eventually you want the client to be able to these is the problems I'm having.
The ethical
I can handle it now.
Absolutely. The ethical end game is to work yourself out of a job. You feel me? You don't want for your clients to be dependent on you.
Okay.
You want to be able to empower them so they can be self-driven, so they don't have to see you. And so that's the kind of like where some people are like, well, you got to keep coming back. No, like you want to get, if you're still seeing me, that means there's still stuff going on.
Yeah.
So it's like, and sometimes that can be hard for like some of like the young kids who don't have that, male figure in their life, because then you have that conversation with the mom, like, hey, like, he's doing really good. Like, grades are good. He's not acting up anymore. I think this is a good stopping point. And then they're like, well, we still want, to see him. And that's one of the hard parts about the job, is like telling like a young kid, like, hey, like you've done well. Like one kid is like, all right, well, I'm about to just act up again so I can still go see you. I'm like, bro, no.
Yeah, that ain't
I was like, we're not about to, like, literally. Like,
if you want to hang out, we can kick it.
I was like, nah, man, like you've been doing good. Like this is just kind of where it stops. So yeah, to your question there, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sure. Maybe you got other questions too, man, because I like answering those questions of other therapy.
Well, I mean, whenever we had an artist come on, and I asked her like, well, how do people practice getting better at art? I always got like a small like little question like that. So that's, I mean, I've heard that about therapy. Yeah, but you want people to eventually be able to work themselves out of therapy, because you don't want them to keep having to talk about these problems and rehashing this shit over and over again.
Exactly, because once you're over something, you no longer are so fixated on it as much. You don't have, like, imagine somebody who hasn't got over their like ex. They're still talking about it all the time. They're still trying to untangle things. So it's like once you're past that, you don't have to talk about it as much. So
what's another, like, therapy has this stigma, especially amongst black men. It's, Men's Mental Health Month. Like, what's another stigma that you hear people talk about therapy all the time, and you're like, you know what, that's not true. Like, that's not how this works.
Man, there's a lot of things that are there's because now we got the internet, man, and
everybody's licensed on the internet.
Everybody's licensed on the internet, man. So it's like anybody can be able to say anything, But like to your question, just like what are other things, man? I think obviously that hot topic of like everybody's ex is a narcissist. Yeah. Everybody's ex is a narcissist. That's not all the way the case.
Explain that to somebody that don't know what that means.
Man, bro, like
the real definition.
Man, like the thing is, when we talk about narcissism, man, in this layman's terms, man, it's the exact opposite of a people pleaser. Like if you put it on the spectrum, you got a people pleaser who's like thinking about everybody else and not themselves, and a narcissist, like a real true one, he or she, because a female narcissist looks different than a male narcissist. It can, and I think that's a lot of people don't understand, but a lot of times people don't really even meet the full criteria of narcissism. They just might have a really huge ego and just be emotionally immature, but I think just everybody wants to say their ex is a narcissist. Not everybody, but some people, just because not to take accountability for what they were doing in the relationship, But I think a lot of people like to use like therapy jargon to further sometimes their own agenda too.
Oh, for sure.
Or to make a profit off of it.
Yeah. That is, I like that. Use therapy jargon to make $1.
Yeah, man.
Definitely, people love jargon. Is like people like to use like a lot of different words,
like the terminology. Yeah, they want to use the term, but they don't know what it really means.
Don't know what it means.
That's something I wanted to get off my chest too. Like,
we'll get there. Yeah,
I didn't even want to get there. I was just like, man, like I was thinking about that, but I'm like, man,
because on both ends though, are both.
Facts.
Like if you're a people pleaser and or you're a narcissist, neither one are good. You know what I'm saying? You need to be somewhere in the middle.
Exactly.
So if you have, but you only hear about the narcissist. You never hear about the people mad that your partner was a people pleaser. They did everything you wanted them to do at any time, and they wasn't taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
They don't never really bring that part up though. So like, and both are on a like you said on spectrum. You never want to be too far on one
another.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
It's opposites. I mean opposites.
So somebody's like, why do I keep attracting these kind of folks? Well, there's some things you're doing wrong, and so that's the thing. People see therapy is going to make you really look at it should make you look at what you're doing wrong. But a lot of people, their ego might be so big they don't think they're doing anything wrong. And that's another trait of sometimes it can be a trait of narcissism.
Yeah. So I think that in like there were like women or people that have told me like they're in therapy or they've been in therapy. I don't care. Like, I don't give a fuck if you went to therapy or not, because it don't matter. If you're not putting the work in, it don't
Exactly.
matter.
That's just like, hey, I've been going to the gym.
Right.
Okay,
It's
but
like, I hoop. Like, you play basketball every Sunday, but you ass. You know? Like, you ass. You ain't putting the work in, So it don't really, that does nothing for me.
That is the thing, because exactly, that's the whole point. So it's just like, I'm like, man, like, it's so real. Like, your attendance doesn't necessarily, I mean, let me not get this wrong, because it can be hard for some people just to walk through that door.
Facts. There you
to get into therapy.
Going is half the battle for sure.
Yeah.
Walking through the door of the gym, walking through the door of therapy, realizing that you have a problem or have something that you want to change.
Facts.
And making an action to it takes a lot of work.
They say that's the heaviest door in the gym, or the heaviest weight in the gym is the front door.
Right? No, that's so real, man. That's so real. So like, I'm not trying to knock that to anybody who's nervous to go to therapy because of that, but like after that, like after you've been going through the the gym or whatever the analogy you want to use, you have to start participating. You have to start throwing around heavier weight. Because even like for myself in the gym, sometimes I get comfortable just lifting the same weight. I'm like, I need to probably add some weight to this at this point, but you can get comfortable. That comfort zone can end up becoming your prison if you stay in your comfort zone too long, in any situation.
That's real.
But some people don't believe in therapy. That's fine. That's cool. It's just not gonna be my clients. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to. Like, it's just like, man, there's so many therapists here. Like, it's just like if you want a therapist, you can find one. It's easy. Like, it's not like it's 2025. You can see somebody in Kansas City.
It's not easy to find a
want.
black therapist.
It's about like black male therapists. It's about 6 to 7 of us here in Wichita.
Oh, okay. That's not a bad number.
Yeah, it's like 6 to 7. I think
out of 200, maybe.
No, it's like 1%. Like nationwide, like it's like 1%. Like literally, let alone just males.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that alone, there's not really much male therapists. Let alone minorities or black. Like,
that's the thing about teachers too. Like, there's a lot of teachers.
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't black, and a lot of them aren't men.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's been some of the problems, especially the men part, because there's just we love our female teachers, but we need a good ratio, man.
And everything though. Diversity is they trying to take away diversity and inclusion, but it's true.
What happens,
really so I guess we could get there, man. It's the time to get something off your chest. Like, if there's something that's been on your mind all week, some events that's going on in the world, or you maybe want to talk about something good. It's just time to get it off your chest. Sometimes we ask our guests first, and I think they be thinking about, like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. Yeah. So do you have anything first? Maybe get the brain going for the guests?
I'll get the fucking party started. Recently, as y'all know, the NBA Finals have been on. It's you get 7 games. You get 2 days in between each game. But and I kind of talked about this with the Super Bowl. Man, the fucking commercials last forever. They play 2 minutes worth of the game, and then they play 5 minutes worth of ads I don't give a damn about. Can y'all please either make a better ad? Like, they need to fix commercials. I'm boycotting commercials. Make them funny again.
Make them funny. Make them funny. Make commercials funny again.
10 minutes worth of goddamn ads versus 3 minutes worth of basketball, and they got 7. The officials got more timeouts than the coaches. They take 7 official timeouts. Why are the officials tired? Why do they need a timeout? They're not fucking hurt. They're not playing. So I did see so many fucking commercials over the last 2 weeks watching the finals. None of them have been good. None of them are catchy. None of them I can fucking remember. Can y'all remember a commercial from the finals?
No. The Wingstop.
With the black dude. Okay.
Right. And then there was a commercial, it was a Kia commercial, and they were singing it was like black folks in the Kia commercial, but it was like a really white song. I think it was the one on White Girls or something.
I know what you're talking about, because the homie Malik pointed these 2 commercials out to me too, as because he
they stood out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel you though. I like that. Make commercials funny again.
The Wingstop commercial, but even that one sucks because they got the super cool black dude eating chicken, but that's another thing. But they need to do something with the fucking commercials. Shorten them down or make them better, man. If you're gonna make us watch them,
man, that's real.
That's real shit for sure. On me, definitely. Do you have?
We going for the Pacers. We going to the Pacers tonight, though.
I'm going for you going for the Pacers. Okay, I'm going with the Pacers.
I would like to go to the parade though. Okay,
Game 7 tonight. Game 7 tonight. What? So is that your pick?
I like an underdog story.
You don't
I'm going with the underdog here, too.
I feel wrong because like Midwest is OKC.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of torn.
Midwest, too.
I'm kind of torn, but
it's weird Midwest, but it's Midwest.
You're right.
Yeah, I've been rolling
It
Thunder
is.
all series, so I'm gonna just stick with my pick.
Yeah.
Just go
Not a bad
roll.
pick.
Yeah, roll
Not a
with
bad
Thunder,
pick
man.
at all, man. Jalen Williams, like, good God.
Yeah, he was that 40-point game was crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. Who wins the MVP for both teams? If just
SGA and
SGA
then Halliburton.
Siakam.
You think
Siakam.
Halliburton?
I think
Okay.
Siakam wins
I think
if the
Siakam.
Pacers win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he gets the finals
Yeah,
MVP.
SGA Siakam.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so we got breaking news on the workshop for once. You know,
Oh,
like
we do,
usually
huh?
shit happens after we get off
Yeah.
right
Right
before
after,
or
too,
something
right.
like that. But Kevin Durant, Phoenix Suns,
yeah.
power forward. He play power forward now, I guess.
Center, if you want it.
It's traded to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan
real?
Brooks, and the 10th overall pick. And 5 second-round picks.
Really?
I mean, those
5
second-round picks. Yeah. So you get 6 picks in total. The 10th pick this year. Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, for Kevin Durant. You first hearing that, what's your thoughts?
Kevin Durant going to Rockets?
Yeah.
Man.
5 second-round picks is crazy. I think that's the max you can do. I'm imagining.
Yeah.
They took the maximum, so yeah, good for them. Hopefully,
It's a
out.
haul for KD,
Yeah.
for 37-year-old KD.
Well,
though.
they just traded 4 first-round picks for
Desmond
Desmond Bain.
Bane, yeah.
man.
Desmond,
His
yeah.
arms are the same length as mine.
I think it's gonna be. That's real. I think it's gonna be good, man. I like to see Kevin Durant in the Rockets.
Yeah.
Man. That would be hard, bro. But to get off my chest. Are you gonna go next?
You got it. Yeah,
want me to go?
you ready? You ready?
I was thinking because I was like, man, there's a few things, man. But the first thing that comes to my mind, man, is just like people in the victimhood mentality, man. Like you see a lot of that too. Like even like in therapy or just in general, like sometimes people default to that victimhood mentality if they can't like rebut like their response to like maybe an argument or whatever it might be. But it's really the victimhood mentality stuff. It's just it keeps you stuck. And then I think victimhood mentality, just people not taking the accountability for things, whether it be male or female in the relationship. So,
what's an example of that you seen recently that really
Man.
got you like, man, I need to talk about this?
man, I would say just like, just with sometimes with some of my clients, at times, or just like people like in real life, like it's like, yo, take accountability for your part for what you have done wrong, and not blame other people, because it's really a very immature behavior. You see kids do that, like they run around grandma's house and knock the vase over. Oh, she did it. Like now you're 30 years old, like you shouldn't be still doing that behavior. Like you should own up to like what you've done wrong. But just some people are very like just not, emotionally developed.
Yeah.
You
Or
know?
people be like, well, they did this, but I did it because you did this.
Right.
But we're not talking about, we're talking about what you did.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
It's hard for
Because
people
everybody
to-
does have a reaction to what happened, but like, you still got to own it for your part of it.
Exactly, man.
Is there anything else you need to get off your chest? Or you got one you leaving it on the board?
Man, I mean, another one I would just say, like we talked about,
Yeah, let's get into it. Yeah.
just I would just say like people using like mental health jargon or just mental health stuff in general to like further their own agenda and not are really for the cause. There's a lot of mental health now is trendy. So sometimes people use
Definitely is trendy.
right. Mental health is trendy, so sometimes people use that to further their game, whatever it might be, for whatever reasons. And there's some people who are genuinely like trying to bring awareness, which is dope. I think that's dope because you don't have to be a therapist to be an advocate. But at the same time, there's some people who are not really, doing anything for mental health, but they're using that to make it look like it is. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I think it's just like people just need to. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, I'm not even gonna hold you because it still brings awareness. But I think there's some people who might just need to kind of really figure out what, benefit this is really doing.
Yeah.
I like how you said mental health has been trendy for a while. I
It's
think the
been trendy.
first thing I heard was like the working on myself thing, and that's all good. I'm not trying to say
We've
nothing
been
about
here
the
before.
working.
Yeah, we talked. Yeah.
But yeah, it is very trendy, and that's what I'll be honest with you. That's what turns me off on it a lot
Yes,
too.
speak freely, man.
Yeah, whenever people they
that's-
kinda, use it as a crutch or as a kite or whatever they want to use it for, you know, to get some kind of
it's kind of like yoga, you know, like when yoga became so trendy and whatnot, like it's like, you know, I do this for a living, man. I see about 6 to 7 clients a day, so it's just like, it's not a trend to me. Like, it's like people's real, like, life, real problems. It's real shit. So, like, sometimes it's just kind of when people are just using this or just making a real, like, it's kind of like, yo, like, you don't know nothing about really what mental health, like, dealing with somebody with severe mental health issues is like, I do this for a living, you know? And so it's like, it's dope that you want to be able to bring awareness to it, but it's just like when the trend is done, you still gonna be here because I'm gonna retire doing this.
Because people really,
I've been doing this for 8
real
years.
shit.
Yeah, it's just kind of like
y'all fucking it up for them.
It's the best way to put it. It's just like imagine you like a Chiefs fan, diehard Chiefs fan, and people just bandwagons. Like you know how you feel about people being a bandwagon. That's like kind of how it is.
Yes, I do.
You how you feel about that? People just like LeBron just because it's LeBron. Yeah. That's kind of how it is with mental health. Not all the time.
Well, people throw like, you know, you matter or like something like mental health awareness on a shirt and it's like, you know what I'm saying, people will wear it and be like,
my point.
I'm for the cause.
And some people be having mental health stuff and be promoting mental health, but back in the day they used to not be like that. That was a completely different person. Maybe they had to go through a change, you know, but they wasn't for doing the right thing.
Right. And so that's what I'm saying, like, you know, people have transformation, so that's what I was like, I'm not gonna hold you if, like, at the end of the day, if you're trying to genuinely do something positive, I think that's dope, you know, but I do think that it is becoming trendy, and I mean, you know, I'm kind of on two sides. Even though the fact that it's trendy, that allows me to get more clients, but I'm really particular who I see. Like, I'm like, hey, are you just coming in here so you can tell your girlfriend that you're in therapy? Or like sometimes I'll get a call from like,
you know, niggas do anything to get their girl back.
That's something to think about when y'all looking for a therapist, because a nigga like me, I'm gonna take your dollar and just, you know, give you whatever I can give you. You know what I'm saying? So you know, you
right,
do a good job.
Right,
and when you're searching for your therapist,
there's therapists like that, like for real.
Oh, for sure. In any field. There's mechanics that take your money and not fix your car and make sure you keep coming back.
Yeah. I didn't want to drop any names, but that's for real.
Fuck Jiffy Lube. They ain't paying nothing.
Bro, every time I go to Jiffy Lube, my car get messed up, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you, bro.
Yeah.
It get messed up. Like, Jiffy Lube really doing some shady stuff, but yeah, there's therapists like that. And so it's just like the crazy thing about therapy is that nobody sees really what you in there doing. And I think that's problematic, because I think as therapists we need to hold each other accountable, bro. Because like if you're like a surgeon, like everybody can see what you in there doing. Like you could be a therapist in there talking about the Chiefs game. You know, like for real. And so it's just like that's why there's some like therapists who've had like clients who have had real bad experiences, you know, and then that affects other people from getting it. But I think too a lot of people are nervous going to therapy because it's like it kind of exposes you from like really like what you're doing, and a lot of people
a lot of people really can't have like hard one-on-one conversations in general. So like you going with somebody random that you don't know, you about to, I feel like a lot of people are walking in but like they already have like, oh man, I'm dreading this conversation. So
so say emotionally underdeveloped, you know, like that's what that is. Like, because I think too, like as men, like physical strength looks different than emotional strength. You know, like physical strength is like your ability how to manage and control the external world, you know, but emotional strength is the exact opposite. It's like how you manage and control your internal world, the thing within. And so as men, like there's a lot of, you know, focus for us to be providers, protectors, or whatnot. We can control our external world, but when it comes to our internal world, a lot of us are emotionally underdeveloped. You know what I mean? Because if we are controlling our internal world, we look at that as being feminine or being gay or whatever it might be. But it's like that's emotional strength. You know, physical strength, you know, push the weight, the resistance. Emotional strength is like, man, being able to say like, yo, I'm not good. You know, being able to be honest, being able to be vulnerable. You know, these words that are trendy now, but really I just say emotionally open. I don't even really like the word vulnerability. It's being able to be emotionally open, man. Like the best way I put it, it's like, you know, when you were a kid, you go to Applebee's, they gave you like the 4 crown box. Like you got red, green, blue, yellow. That's how men are. We got 4 colors. And like women, they got like 64 box crowns. They got teal, indigo, violet. And like men, we be like, well, I don't understand. Like this
niggas just trying to mix their colors together. We got we putting the blue and the red to get purple. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like, we don't have we don't have that emotional range like how females do. So like females be talking about indigo, we be like, yo, blah blah blah.
It's blue to me.
Right?
It's blue. It's purple. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Regular blue.
And some people just got that 2-pack, just the red and the blue. Like you can't even make the colors need properly.
So like the primary colors.
Exactly. That's how I look at it, man. So it's like it's just expanding your crown box, expanding your awareness to it, man. And you know, the people who use these words, emotionally intelligent. That's cool, man. It's just really that's what I think. Sometimes these words kind of get people like further away. Like I don't like to try to act like I'm this expert. Like I like yo, we regular humans at the end of the day, right? So it's like I think sometimes all that therapeutic jargon can steer people away from just getting the help they need, man. Like that's just words we use to make our colleagues look, to impress our colleagues. If we keep it in a book, those words therapists use to impress their colleagues. You know what I mean? I speak like how I speak on every day, bro. I'm not going to try to act like I'm this person here, because sometimes most of those cats are the ones with the most issues. You know, not always, but you know, it's just like what do you have to hide?
What's something I need to get off my chest,
man? Yeah, what song you got?
Man,
or the dating stuff?
Nah. I'm good.
Braxton done turned it into a whole thing.
Yeah, he turned into a beast, man.
Braxton likes the dating topics.
Man, he be acting like he always be trying to do the GYAG.
What's that?
Get you a Grayson.
Get you a Grayson.
That's Braxton, man. But it's not true.
Who's that? I shouldn't even be saying that. My bad.
I'm dead as fuck.
At the end of the day, we men, man. But my dad, he always told me, man, and he said, you know, you can look on the menu. He said, you can look on the menu, but just don't order nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you order something, you already got your salmon and your potatoes out there. That's why they take the menu from you. You see me? So like, it's like you've already made your decision. But some people, they be looking like, man.
But why they ask if we can get desserts when it's time to go?
Because you made your commitment later. Like, you know, some couples are like, hey, we've been married for this amount of time. Now we might be able to, you know what I mean? Do something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Get a little dessert.
Like a hall pass. Have a hall pass, but I don't know. You know, I'm not going to be able to get that.
Is there a such thing as a hall pass? Is there a such thing as a? Because I feel like a girl. I mean, one I was talking to, she was like, you know, have I had a threesome, or like if I was with somebody, would I be interested or be willing to have somebody else in the bedroom with us?
Oh, she asked you, okay.
Yeah, she asked me. Well, a woman.
Okay.
Yeah, another woman.
Okay.
I know it's that month. Love who you love, but I know that's not how I'm rolling.
Put that flag on the bottom of the logo.
Yeah. You know, but it is that month. Love who you love. But that's not how I'm going. But what y'all think about it? Is there like, if you in a relationship, is like, are y'all cool with throwing somebody else in the bedroom, another woman in the bedroom?
What you think, Dar?
My dad, he does this thing, and when he did it the first couple of times, he does it all the fucking time. If your girl asks you a question like, how would you feel about like having another girl, hopefully another girl in the bed? This is what he does. He goes, she's throwing a line out there for your goofy ass, and if you dumb enough to say yes, then you just fell for it. You know, it's really that simple. It's really that simple. The answer is always no. Would I love that for that to happen? Yeah, probably. Yeah. But if she was like, and we were just saying like, bring a guy to bed.
Hell no.
Like, what the? What? I would be disgusted. You know, like I would be like, you know, probably how she would feel if I was like, yeah, we should bring a girl to bed. You know, that's a classic bait, fellas. Don't take that. Yeah. The answer is no.
I think it is a classic bait for sure.
Very, very bait.
If there's going to be a threesome, I think it's always the woman's like decision to bring somebody in. Like the guy can't, because I've been asked that question before in past relationships, and it's like now you got to be like, well, who we gonna bring in? So they're really trying to bait you to see who you find attractive.
Yeah, well, they want to name a specific name.
And if you want to do that, you pick somebody.
It's layers to the bait.
Yeah. You know my type. You know my type. Yeah, like you know I am. Okay. But I would never bring it up like, oh, we need to have let's have a threesome with somebody, because like no, you automatically asking for something that. But let's say y'all sex life be getting boring. Like y'all been together for so long, y'all been, it's time y'all want to try. But you've been in a relationship. You can only do doggy that many times. You know what I'm saying? You can only, the whipped cream. Y'all done bought whipped cream 5 weeks in a row.
You trying to do the doggy with the neighbor?
No, but I'm saying, what if she introduced it? Like, I'm trying to spice things up a little bit. Like,
I would introduce that.
You cool with it?
I'd be apprehensive.
Man,
I'd be walking on eggshells.
Yeah. That's tough. I mean, I would. Man, that's a tough one there, man. I mean, I would. That's a tough one, man, because I know Nessa probably watching right now, and I already know which. I already know which things. Hypotheticals. I mean, I think it would be cool, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and be like, yeah, I would like to experience that. Have that experience. So it's like, I look at life as an experience.
I feel like that's everybody. It's on pretty much every man's bucket list.
Yeah, I would. Oh yeah, I love
for sure.
I'm
not gonna be like, oh, I never won. I never thought about it. Like, fuck you.
I'm not gonna say how do you.
I also like to win the Powerball.
Also like to win the 10-leg parlay.
Right. I already know the comment section, but he's a therapist. He's saying that he wanted to have a
therapist get coochie.
Put that on a priest.
Yeah, put that on the shirt.
That's hilarious.
Is not a priest. Definitely put that on.
I'm sure they got a shirt like that. They send it on there. Right, I'll be using the mental health for profit.
I'm dead as hell.
Yeah,
all right, so actually, I was listening to and then like your interview with XV that just came out, which was dope. Sure. Kind of inspired this question. Is like I was listening to Wiz Tiny Desk, and you really realize that I'm like Wiz really he doesn't. I don't think he gets the love that he really created for a culture during the time. Like when we was in high school, we had the cargo shorts.
Taylor
game. We had the snapbacks. People had the patch on the head.
Thanks.
People was Taylor game. People was getting. He got a lot of niggas smoking.
Bro,
we not gonna I'm not even gonna sit here and cap. He made smoking cool. He made smoking weed cool for my generation. Probably other generations you can say for
Snoop Dogg.
But for our generation, he had rolling papers. Like Wiz really put on for a generation of us, right? And I don't think he get that deserve. And he's a dope artist. I feel like Wiz really has some shit.
Definitely one of those classic mixtapes. That Cushion Orange Juice, the first one is one of those list joints.
And then I was listening to XV. I'm like, XV really did a lot. He worked with a lot of people. He made a lot of dope music. Who's some other artists that y'all think of as like, damn,
he's the first Wichita rapper I ever fucking knew or ever heard of.
On 2K.
On 2K, yeah. That's pretty big. You're right. That's pretty big. You're right.
Pusha T. Man, like, that's a lot of people don't like, because I see a lot of like clients, like teenage clients, but I want to be a rapper. I'm like, yo, like you need to study the game, study other artists in Wichita who made it, other artists in Wichita who made it out. Mm-hmm. And like XV even said, like, because I had a client, he started listening to XV, and then he saw him at the Somewhere Else festival and told him like, hey, like my therapist recommended you. So that was kind of a dope moment. But yeah, bro, I think there's a lot of artists that kind of get slept on.
Yeah, there's some other artists that like kind of set a tone or that's like don't get appreciated enough.
Shout out to the homie Blake.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Facts.
Podcast. He been on the pod with us.
Yep. And it's like local artists.
No, just local. I was thinking when I was asking, I'm like thinking more like national or like people that we would mainstream or lower stream or people that just don't really get the credit. Like I feel like Big Crit during that span
for sure.
He was going crazy.
He was going crazy.
Like Big Sean. Crazy. I feel like a lot of people don't like Big Sean had a run that was insane.
Yeah, he was my favorite rapper for a long time.
Wale had a run that was insane. Like artists like that, I feel like we'll hold other artists in like a higher regard. Mm-hmm. But I don't think a lot of them had a run like that. Like, people will put LL Cool J in their top 15 rappers, and I get for what they did for the game, but like I ain't go back and listen to LL Cool J.
Rock the bells. That's about it.
His new album though, go hard you spitting, but like that's what we were talking on the podcast with XV. Like I always said, and my homie was saying too. Like Big Sean doesn't have that core sound.
Yeah.
You see, like even like his main track, that I Don't F With You track. It was a LA kind of sound. It wasn't a Detroit sound. So like the big three, Kendrick, Cole, Drake, like they stick to their core sound, their core producers. You know, so I think a lot of artists sometimes try to make these other tracks to kind of, you know, get famous or get more, you know, attention. But it's like, I think you'd have to have that core sound. Like, this sounds like a Drake song. This sounds like a Kendrick song. This sounds like something Cole would do. But it's like, what sounds like something Big Sean would do? You know, like, there are some stuff, but it's just like, I like Big Sean too. But I just think some artists, the run stops because they don't know how to pivot. You know, like Wale was dope, but it's like, you got to know how to pivot. Like, I mean, Kanye knew how to pivot, even though he pivoting a little bit too far nowadays, like that Cousins track. I don't know what y'all think about that Cousins track.
We talking Kanye, the album was terrible. Yeah,
horrible.
Yeah.
Were you talking about the Bully or
the newest one, the one that you couldn't have on Apple Music because of what he was saying? What's it called?
I don't know.
World War III track?
I think so. I'm not sure, but it was on YouTube. But you can only listen to it on YouTube.
Because I remember I heard like the Bully, and I think there's some other stuff, but yeah, Kanye off his rocker, man. What y'all think about what's going on like that U.S.-Iran stuff? I know y'all don't really talk about like politics on there, but like,
man, this y'all, I mean,
that's kind of crazy though. Cause I just
it's happened last night.
Yeah, man. Anytime some shit get blown up, I'm assuming it's bad, but I don't really know what the consequences. Because to me, like, I'm under the impression like motherfuckers is too scared to mess with America anyway. So, especially with a psychopath in the office, like, ain't no telling what he capable of.
Bro, how I would like describe it, like America is kind of like that bully, like in you know, elementary school and middle school and whatnot. But then in high school, now the people he bullied are now taller than him. And so like China, they have a higher GOP or GEP or whatever it's called than us and whatnot. So it's like, we got to be careful because
China making them shoes for fucking 20 cents a goddamn shoe, man. I mean, they gonna have they making money here.
Yeah, it's just like we bullying these people, but like, man, like people are like, we're no longer the top dog anymore, bro. So it's like, we gotta be careful because that's
what's
serious
that Randolph say? It's where bullies get bullied.
Bullies get bullied.
Bullies get bullied, man. So hopefully we're all straight.
It's crazy. You know, I'm definitely for, you know, peace and love, you know, but again, I don't know the ramifications of like what Darvin said, but you look at your phone and you see, you know, America sends 3 missile strikes to Iran.
That's something crazy, huh?
It's like, damn, what
crazy. Well, they had the video too. The video was insane.
And you automatically
got a video?
I see. Well, I don't know if it was the missile strike station, but I seen some missiles getting set off. You know, blowing up, going through towns. You know,
that's cold. You saw video recording. That's like recording a fight at school. But this is
I mean, they got phones and they be recording the Palestine and the Israel. You know, they be recording that stuff. They be sending off rockets and stuff. You know, blowing up buildings.
So, but like we talked about with like people been at war since shit before Christ.
Biblical.
People been
Palestine,
war.
Israel. That's the Crusades. Yeah, they've been fighting for
like there's been if there's human interaction, there's gonna be war. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just
and you know. America's been pulled out of a lot of war. Like, we haven't been in a war in a very long time. You know what I'm saying? And you can only hope that this is not, you know, what's next for our country. You know?
Yeah.
But you never know. And with the powers that be right now, it's since his starting the office.
Yep.
He first got rid of the DI.
Yeah, he's a bit of a bully, but
and then then they doing the shit with the ICE. You know, they deporting the immigrants and stuff like that. So fuck ICE for sure. You know, people was doing protests downtown, and now it's the missile strikes. You know,
it's crazy.
It's a lot of shit going on with and that's why I think it's important for people to be informed.
I know, but that's what I was curious to see like what you guys thought because it's like
I'm not as informed as I should be.
Exactly, but we know. But for you to say, you know what side you all know. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on America's side, and you know I'm not a Trump guy, but he is the president. I acknowledge that,
right.
And so whatever he get us into, man, then I'm just going in it with him because, like I said, I'm an American, and white people they can't tell me that my ancestors ain't helped build this country and help make it what it is today. So I deserve whatever benefits that come with that. So I always support America, man. I'm just an American as true and as blue blooded, red blooded as they come.
Right, and I think too, like a lot of people, like when you go out of the country, man, you start to appreciate like the country you're in.
Exactly. Man. Like, motherfuckers want to leave America and go like, where?
Well, you just visited Japan.
Yeah,
and
man,
as a black man, how was that experience? You know,
man, there's a few black people out there, but I mean, it was cool, man. I felt like I was Shaq. If I'm being honest, and I'm not even that tall. Like, I'm not even really that tall, man. I'm probably like 5'10", maybe 5'11". But I feel like Shaq. Like the hotels, the closer you get to Tokyo, the hotels are kind of like. I was thinking about like my cousin's husband. I was like, if he was here, like he would be just because he's like close to like 7. So I felt really tall, but I really enjoyed it. Like Tokyo, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of people. Yeah. But it's like an adventure. If you want to go to Japan, it's like an adventure because there are some trips you want to have vacation, you want to kind of chill, have a drink, but it's more of like an adventure. But it was really interesting.
When did you go?
April.
April? Okay.
Yeah, April 24th to May 3rd.
Did they have do you know what Evo is? Did they have that in April?
What's that?
It's they play fighting games, video games.
Oh, I think I might have seen something like that.
Real big tournament, yeah, in Japan around that time.
Yeah, I think I might have seen something.
Play for a lot of money.
So yeah, I mean, is that one of the? You travel a lot. Where's the couple of places that you would recommend for somebody that's like, I'm trying to get in the...
Man, I would recommend, like, I really enjoyed Egypt. There was a trip we did to Egypt, like a group trip. Like, that was cool. Like, shouts out to Landon. Yeah, man.
It's real?
Go inside the... Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure. You get to go inside the pyramid. Like, Egypt is... If you go to Egypt, you got to go to Luxor because the pyramids are in Cairo, and that's like 9 hours away from Luxor, where all the temples are at. So, like, the crazy thing is when you're there, you're just like, yo, like, you see people on the temples that look like Darvin, that look like Grayson, that look like me, like, just on there, bro. And, like, a lot of the nose on these, like, not just on the face, but, like, everywhere just are defaced, like, just taken off. It's crazy. And then when you go into, like, the King's Temple, you can see, like, how dark the skin of a lot of the folks are there. So like Egypt it's like really interesting, man. It's like kind of like, it's crazy to kind of think it's like these structures, because one of the guy on the group tour, he was like a construction worker. He's just like blown away. He's like, yo, like we can't even make some of the stuff now, like just some of the simple things, like just seeing like a obelisk just like so like tall, just like it's just crazy, man. Like it's so ancient, like how far back this stuff was made. It's like I believe like ancient man was far more advanced than we think they are, you know, and they want to tell us that aliens did it, but I mean, like
a lot of that shit's just standing the test of time, though.
It's just like been ancient black folks making this stuff, like that's all it is. Because the further you get back in any civilization, the darker the skin they get.
And then the hieroglyphics, they got waves, and they
dress all
you
that.
can see the waves in
all
the
that, man.
trees.
It's just that's what I'm saying. Like ancient man was a lot more advanced. We think they were just very primitive, man. Like it's not the case, bro. Like if something were to happen, pop up with this Iran stuff, and we lose, like people like think about everything we have is all digitized. Yeah. You know, like we don't have anything written in stone. Like everything would be wiped away. People wouldn't know about what Wi-Fi was. So it's like, how are we gonna say like some other advanced civilization had Wi-Fi?
Yeah. So what if like, and I think that like. It's honestly it's just crazy, honestly, because, well, in such a shorter time lifespan, too, though. Like, people weren't, like, 30 then is, like, 70 now.
No, for real.
You know, like, at 10, you was going with your, you was going to hunt and gather.
Mm-hmm. Right when you got that peach fuzz.
Right, yeah, like you had to go, you know, you had way more responsibility way earlier because your life expectancy was way shorter. You know, a common cold take you up out of there.
Yeah,
but there was a lot more, right? A lot of more herbal like remedies to get you back into like if you were sick, like a lot of different herbs, spices, and things like that. A lot of more natural things. So it's crazy how like
that shit wasn't working.
How far we've come though. It's
that shit was not working. You cannot get stabbed and go get some grapes from the forest and kill that shit.
There was no black elderberry,
no neosporin, nothing.
But that's real though, because that's a good point though, because not all the natural remedies work.
Oh, no, work.
And that's even
you can't convince me.
Man, and so like that's another thing, man. I think like even get off my chest, man, too. And I know it's like especially in the black community, it's difficult, but like sometimes therapy is not going to just only be the thing to get the job done. Like there's some clients that I see who have like real mental health conditions. Like we're talking about bipolars, even some who might be schizophrenic, and medication is not an optional thing for some of those individuals, man. And so people say, well, Chris, I'm just trying to do the natural way. And like, yo, that's cool. We can do that, bro. But the natural way, you can't just eat broccoli one day of the week and say, oh, man, I'm healthy now.
Yeah.
You got to do that every day. You know, so you got to work out. The natural way takes longer. And that's cool. I'm all for natural remedies. And I can't prescribe any medication. But it's just like, yo, like, some people, like, when I'm an advocate for medication, it's like when people, like you see people's life in ruins, like they're not able to maintain their job, their relationships, and then maybe they got kids. It's like, yo, like I know you may not be for this, but like you got kids at home, man. Like we gotta like
bigger things.
I know you trying to do this natural way and take your ashwagandha and stuff like that can be effective, but if you just taking your ashwagandha and doing this natural ways, you gotta stay away from Popeyes. Like, if you want to do a natural way, so once again, people just think that they can do this natural remedy or even just smoke the weed away. Like, you know, smoke the pain away with the weed. You got to be natural all around. Like, it's not just...
You can't mix, you can't do both sides.
No, you can't expect the supplements you take to work if you just left from Brahms. Like, it's a whole thing, and like... That was saying all that to connect with what Darwin was saying about just like the natural remedies back in the day, because it was the Rockefellers. When they kind of got empowered, they made like natural and alternative medicine illegal. They took it out of the doctors' books and whatnot so they could make a profit, because they realized they could make profit on the oil-based kind of like medication and whatnot, because to make that, you had to use oil, I believe. So a lot of the natural remedies and whatnot became alternative. And like, how is that alternative medicine? That was the original medicine.
Primary.
And now all of a sudden it's alternative. So it's like, whoever tells the story, man, rules the world, bro.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
from Plato.
The first one to the mic, you know.
The first one to the mic.
The first one to the mic is the one that you're going to listen to, for sure.
That's crazy, though, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Alternative medicine was never alternative.
Yeah, it's the only thing they had.
It's the only thing it's had. But, I mean, I just say all that because I do see some clients who do really struggle with certain conditions, because, like, depression, anxiety, you know, those things can, you know, be overcome. But, like, bipolar, if you're bipolar, you have that, so you have to figure out how to manage that, like, because if not, like, I promise you, like, it can mess up your job, your relationships, and like it's sad too, man, like, honestly. So
you gotta take care of yourself first, man. Take care of yourself first,
you know.
Sure.
I mean, to get too serious on it, but
no, for sure.
No, it's good to let people know.
So on a lighter note,
for sure, let's go.
A dude went on a date for, this is a story I seen on Twitter. A dude went on a first date, right? And he rode like a mechanical bull on the first date, and the girl ghosted him after that because he rode the mechanical bull on the first date. Is that wild or is that valid?
So she left him because he rode the bull?
Ghosted him because he rode the bull on the first date.
What was wrong with? Okay, let me see. Like, did he stay on the bull too long or something?
I don't know.
That would be the impressive. Dude. That would be impressive, though. That's what I don't know. But I see where she did that, but where do you draw the line? We already talked about this. Where the fuck do you draw the line about shit that like you don't like? I seen one girl when a nigga dance, I don't like it. Like, it's too feminine when a nigga dance.
But see, that's the thing. Like, it's just like,
Where does it begin?
When can I have fun? When can men have fun again?
That's the thing. It's like okay, now, like, it's like, I don't want to be with him because he's too emotional, and say, I don't want to be with him because he's not emotionally intelligent. It's like, okay, like, if now he's sharing his emotions with you, but now he's too emotional, so that's why a lot of men just have like, all right, whatever, I'm not gonna say nothing.
I'm gonna just get on this bull. Fuck it. She might leave me alone. She might just leave me alone to begin with. So I'm gonna do what the fuck I want.
Exactly. He's gonna have fun. So I mean, I ain't gonna hold him. Like, let ride the bull.
I'm not the type to ride a mechanical bull at all, but I'm also not the type to knock a motherfucker for doing it. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly. But like, if, let's say I was on a day with, like, I'm not gonna ride a mechanical bull, but let's say I walked by like a, one of them basketball shooting games.
Yeah.
And I had some quarters in my pocket. I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna shoot again. And then with, like, that's just something I would do.
Yeah,
But riding a bull is kind of wild though. On a first date.
I mean, it is a little wild, but some people do that. It's entertainment. Some people do that.
Yeah. Maybe he was trying to impress the woman or whatnot. I don't know like the context of it, but it's like, let's just say he really likes, he's a cowboy. This is where he's from. I think there's nothing wrong with that,
maybe
bro.
Maybe he's want to have some fun.
Yeah. But like if he was just trying to do it just to impress her and he never done that before, like, he ended up messing your back or something. Right? And that's probably why she left, because like now his back not working. She was trying to,
But I don't know. You was talking about the dancing though.
He can't perform.
He blew his back out before he got to the room.
He blew his back out. It was supposed to be the other way around. Like,
man, got his back blown out by the bull. Crazy.
That's crazy. Have you ever wait, huh? Have you ever No. Pause. I'm talking about like the bull riding.
No, I ain't never got on a mechanical bull.
Yeah, no. Remember they had one at rodeo a while back, right?
And it would be funny when people would do it. Yeah. I like enjoying watching people do it. Yeah, it's always funny.
Exactly. I'm not getting on there, especially after some drinks.
Absolutely.
Did Texas Roadhouse have something like that? You can just take a picture on what they going in or something.
I don't know. They just do the birthday thing. You get on there, say singing happy birthday. Yeah. But man, I don't know. You can never win.
You can never win.
You can never win. But the only way you win is by being yourself. I mean, you probably saved yourself, brother, out there. Whoever the bull rider, you saved yourself along. You saved yourself
some heartache.
But if one of the homies is like, "Yeah, I got on a bull on the first date," I'd be like, "You kind of wildin', bud, man. Do you thug this? Okay. And shit, if you done paid for the date, you done planned the date, you can go get on that bull if you want to.
Get on that bull.
If it's cool with me, if it's cool with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
For sure, man. But we get close on time, man. We appreciate you for coming on.
Thanks for the invite, man.
I got a couple questions for you.
And I got one last one.
Okay, go ahead. You got yours first.
Okay. Yeah, we all want to know, because everybody's watching. We've heard about therapy. We've seen movies and shit. Yeah. So if I go and I take you, or you take me on as a client,
sure.
and I, for whatever reason, I killed somebody.
Oh.
And I admit that to you.
Yeah.
You go to the police and tell them?
If it happened in the past, no. But if it's somebody comes into therapy and say, "Hey, I'm about to kill this person," that's when we gotta go say something.
Oh, okay.
Because
so
then, like one time I had a kid. He talked about he's gonna bring a gun to school. I'm like, "Yo, no, bro, we ain't doing that shit."
Yeah, okay.
So it's just like I know people that go to that school, so I gotta say something, because if that kid brought a gun to school,
and you knew,
and I knew,
they'll take you to jail for that shit.
I'm not. I mean, he could be held accountable.
You're not finna go far enough to find out.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I've had kids, like, some of these kids, like, even like with the the mall shooting and all that stuff. I've had kids, come in therapy and told me they did a lot of things, and it's like, damn, like, that's crazy. But like, it happened in the past.
Okay.
But if they're talking about I'm just like kids who might be, or even individuals who might be suicidal, it's like, that's something like we gotta be able to help you with. But yeah, like if somebody come in there and says, "Yeah, I'm about to do something," we gotta say that. But do you ever had clients that have
past events is good though.
Yeah, people have done
limitations
for sure. Okay. But once again, it's just like I set my boundaries. Like sometimes there are some things that are just like too much for me to be able to.
I don't want to hear that shit.
Right, just like, for example, like somebody come in there telling me some like Diddy stories and stuff. Like, I don't. Especially like, there's like I know somebody. Who got a little more expertise than me. Yeah, I'm gonna get you the right person.
Yeah, I'm gonna point you in the right direction.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna try to just see you. I know, like Darby, you said you see just whoever. It's I'm not about to see you because it's dangerous. Like,
I'm gonna take that money.
I'm not. I know like my boundary of like, like I know somebody who could be a better fit for you.
Yeah.
But so okay.
All right. So. How many uses in one towel when you get out of the shower? How many times can you use that same towel?
I just switched my towel today.
That's interesting.
How many times can you use a towel? How many washes can you get into a towel?
Man, depends how dirty you are, I guess. But man, I like to switch my towel at least about a week.
You will use one towel all week,
but there's no answer you can say because these people in the fucking comments are gonna say, "I'm gonna say a week too." 6 days?
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
Right? Like, I mean, like,
do y'all niggas wash clothes that much?
I know, right?
Niggas,
I would say 6 days. Like, by Friday, like
niggas are gonna be
by
roasted.
the weekend, you get that fresh towels. Friday, like you get,
What's your answer, Grayson?
I think you get 3 washes into a towel.
3? Yeah. 3 days? 3? Nigga, you washing that much clothes?
What do you mean?
Nigga, you spending $100 in detergent and fabric softener every month.
You got one towel?
No, I got, but you have to wash them.
Yeah.
If you're using them every 3 days, nigga, that means how many towels you got?
3.
So you washing them motherfuckers 3, 6. You washing them every week and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got more than 6 towels, by the way.
Man, I could have got 3 towels.
3 towels. Yeah, I got like 7, 8.
It's just me. I don't need all them towels. But you're not using none of them. I mean, you're not using all of them because you use them.
I am using them. I'm also not washing clothes every fucking day.
Man, I got like
You
a
wash
towel.
clothes once a week, though, right? Or no, you can go through a couple weeks.
Not a couple, a week and a half.
Okay, I try to watch like a week because like go to the gym, you gotta change, wash up. You gotta put those clothes out. I change at least twice a day. You know what I'm saying? So my clothes pile up quick.
Right.
And I like shower probably twice a day. So I get like three washes into a towel.
3 washes into a towel. Yeah, okay. 3 washes. Man, one thing though, I got a new towel. But if you know the new towel's got all the lint on it.
But if you're coming out clean,
true.
If you coming out the shower clean,
Yeah.
do you gotta change your towel all the time? I mean, it's just a question.
You do for sure.
I mean, you gotta change it for sure because it starts to stink. It gets wet. Yeah,
it gets wet.
Dry, or if you touch the towel to your skin and the towel is still wet, then you probably need to change the motherfucker.
You've been right. Exactly.
Okay.
I need to get some new towels though, man. I'm thinking about I need to go to Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond is not even out now. Man, that's a good question, man. Like
you gotta spend so much money washing fucking clothes.
Yeah, I just throw it in when I wash everything.
That's why. How many bath towels? Like how many
face washes?
Well, like the towel. Are you talking about just all the towels or just like the drying off one?
I was talking about the drying off joints.
Okay, yeah, right. Drying off joints.
Yeah.
Cause I like a loofah, but I ain't gonna lie, I like a loofah.
Yeah.
Loofah, you can get that soap. Like I'm done with the washcloth, bro. Like,
see, we differ there too, cause I'm just soap to ass kind of guy, but I live alone.
All right, here we go.
I said I like.
Man, look. All right, when you hear there's always work to be done, what do you think of?
Man, always work to be done, man. I think of the first thing coming to my mind is cleaning the house, doing the dishes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's the first thing that came to my mind. It's like, man, cause I'm like, man, I want to go home and clean the floor, clean the towels.
Yeah.
It's work to be done. And you're trying to do it like what'd you say, every 3 days you like wash the towels?
Yeah, no, I put the towel in every 3 days. I'm put the towel back in the dirty clothes. Yeah, pull out a new one.
It's always work to be done. That's why there's always work to be done.
I can't believe this is crazy. This is crazy.
No, but I mean, niggas are gonna be like, oh, they use their towel for a week. I think you make a good point though, like taking 2 showers a day. Like I do take 2 showers a day a lot of times, but sometimes I don't. If I took 2 showers a day every day, I mean that would be like 14 uses at that point. That would be a little much. I didn't really think about that. So I'm around 7, 8 to 7, 8, 9 uses. Okay. So like I said, about a week.
Okay. I would say so.
Okay.
But always work to be done. I think there's always work to be done. Always work to be done with yourself, man. And there's always gonna be work to be done. Or even like just going to the gym. Like you never just get to a point, because a lot of times people say like, oh, like, I'm trying to be healed before I get into the next relationship. Like nobody's at 100%, healed from anything. Just like your phone is never at 100% all the time. Like right when you take it off the charger, it starts going down. So like a lot of people, they come into therapy like, oh, I'm trying to be. Nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? So you don't have to wait till you're like completely healed to get into a relationship. I would just say a good, percentage wise for you to be ready. So it's like there always is work to be done, but sometimes you gotta know when you've done enough. I think some people put too much like, man, I'm not about to date nobody until like you're gonna be waiting around. You're gonna be like 50 years old.
Yeah,
like
no, because I definitely would. That's been into that situation where it's
I'm working on myself for how long?
For how long? How long you been working? How long? When is it? What is the telltale sign that you have done enough? You know what I'm saying? I feel like people say they're always working on themselves. They always trying to get to this point. When is it ever going to be really enough?
See, Darby, you might as well get in therapy. Like you just see Eric or whatever.
Man, I wouldn't be too good at therapy. Man.
But no, you're right. When is enough? Shoot.
I'm just saying people got to figure that out for themselves. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. You got to be able to know your own boundaries to realize like, this is enough.
Because if you waiting for it to be perfect, it ain't never gonna happen.
Never, man. I don't even like that word. I use other words because perfect is not a real word. Like perfect, like God. Like what is perfect?
The only perfect you can get is in Tekken when you get that perfect victory. Right? You get that flawless victory.
Perfect, flawless victory. What a God said.
Tekken.
He just said the golden letter.
Y'all play Tekken?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, well, back in the days. What was the best Tekken?
Ooh.
I'm a fan of Tekken Tag.
Tekken Tag is definitely gas.
Tekken Tag is pretty lit.
Hey, Tekken 3 on the like the arcade games.
The one in the mall, I used to be in there.
Cool.
Yeah.
That Dragon Ball Z Budokai though was like one of my favorites.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, that's a classic.
I think that
Classic.
no, for sure. And you know, I might catch heat for this.
Exactly. That's exactly how you gotta do it right there. Like
but I'm a Tekken over a Mortal Kombat guy.
People like Tekken over Mortal Kombat. I'm an MK guy. I still play MK to this day.
Okay,
So.
Tekken is hard, man. Who do you pick? What character? That Tiger guy?
No, okay, niggas out doing RKO. King, yeah. No, I like what's Eddie?
Eddie.
Or Martial Law.
Martial
Law, yeah.
Okay.
And then what's the one with the red hair that be doing the kicks? It's hard to say his name.
How wrong?
Yeah, I fuck with him too.
I like the Killer Instincts.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna kill it. Jago.
Instincts.
Yeah,
Killer
for
Instinct.
sure.
Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Marvel
I
vs.
used to
Capcom.
I used to be good at fighting games. I ain't good no more. Yeah.
I know, man.
I'm a button masher at this point. I ain't got no combos.
No, we would have the Super Smash Bros. Parties, bro.
Yeah,
we would
Super
have
Smash
that.
Bros is different. I feel like that's like you only got so many moves. in
Right,
Super Smash
everybody
Bros.
can get on it. It's like, it's like pickleball.
But it's like right. Or like what was the game that they had that was on Xbox? That we was playing for a little bit. Multiverse. Yeah. So like, you only got a couple moves. You don't got that many moves you can pick from. I feel like in like the Mortal Kombat, you got a book full of
move list.
Yeah.
What's the game that had LeBron on it?
Yeah, it was Multiverse.
That was Multiverse. Yeah.
Platform fighter.
Get on here, man. It's like LeBron and had like Batman and stuff.
Superman.
Shaggy throw a sandwich at you. Uppercut.
Velma had the light.
Yeah.
He had LeBron his hairline on that game.
Crispy. Yeah. Also had him in the Robin suit.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember seeing that
People
on the
did not
tube.
like that. LeBron fans.
Right. They're like, okay, what's this about?
Yeah, they did not like him.
No, that's cool, man. They got a lot of like games, man. I think that's too, like, even think about the dating thing. I remember they did like studies, like when people have too many options, like they just get overwhelmed, and I think that's what, like in the dating scene, because I know you like the dating topics. Like,
Okay.
I think
they like the dating topics. They like that. The viewers like the dating topics. You know, when we post a reel about some the women or the dating, that's what goes up. That's what they like to hear from you.
Think about that. That's what you're saying. Yeah, but no, that's real though, because relationships are the highest value, bro. Like people, we live in a time now, and it's like people are really lonely, bro. Yeah. And I don't think as humans we're supposed to be like, we're a social species, bro. Yeah. Like now we live in boxes of concrete. Like we're supposed to be with other people. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Feel like a lot of people see my shit and like obviously like some, but I really don't be living my rap sometimes. Sometimes you do. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't really be living my raps for real. Like
that one went out.
Yeah, but we got the wide joint going from the phone. So, I don't be living my raps like that. Sometimes I am a good guy. Sometimes I don't be on the shit I need to be on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm human too.
You ever watch Tonight's Conversation?
Yeah, I have.
You ever watched their podcast?
I've watched like
have
clips.
you watched their live stuff?
No, I watched like clips.
This stuff is hilarious.
Yeah, people be wilding.
They be wilding. I could see you on something like that because even like the Sunday
dating show. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like they are on a stage, and then kind of like somebody would have a mic and be like, "Hey, what should I do?" Yeah.
Like relationship questions, that type of shit.
We are waiting on our buddy Los to set up the 20 versus 1. Maybe we'll cut the number down to maybe like 15, maybe 10, so it's more doable. It'd be hard to find 20, I think.
Like the Wichita one?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fire. 20 versus 1, like Grayson versus 20?
Yeah, then obviously, I'll host. Maybe we get another person come in.
That'll be fire.
Host. Yeah.
Okay, so then would it be like just like dating was, like pop the balloon kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. Oh
yeah, like you guys are gonna blow up if y'all start that. Because even like with the Sunday thing, when you're doing like that's like kind of reminds me like that Kevin Samuels kind of vibe. Like, yeah, that would be hard.
Kevin Samuels comedy, R.I.P. comedy.
Yeah,
that's great. That would be dope though. You guys watch like those what's it, Jubilee? When they be like 20, like one conservative versus 20 like liberals or something like that.
I'll be seeing those,
Or it'd be like Fat versus Fit.
Or like one Bron fan versus like 20 MJ.
That'd be overwhelming though.
I seen one. It was like 7 7 straight men and then like 1 gay dude.
Yeah,
but then
they try to figure out who the gay dude is. Some of them is like that,
That's
and then some of them are like there's like somebody at a table, and there's like people around them, and then people are like rushing to the center to sit down and like to debate.
Bro,
So
I seen the one with Jordan Peterson. Like it was like cause like atheists, cause he was like Jordan Peterson was like not an atheist, but like all the people like running around.
Yeah,
I was like, that's kind of overwhelming because he had to like argue with all these people like every like 2-3 minutes. But it's interesting for content for sure. But I'll be stressed.
Yeah. What's something that you won't do for content? Your podcast creator. What's something that's like I'm
just
not.
like kind of calling people out. That's why I was kind of hesitant with that, like calling people out or just name dropping or just kind of being really just raunchy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just kind of like I know what's his name Day, he be doing some stuff some stuff I was like, yeah, I wouldn't put that on there, like talking about like eating ass. Yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't do nothing like that. But I mean, he can do it for his platform, but I'm not gonna be talking about that because like I think what makes it challenging too is kind of like at the end of the day I'm a professional, but even if I wasn't, I still wouldn't even want to like do it anyway. Yeah. But like that kind of sets like a boundary. But I'd never wanted to do my podcast to be like uber professional, business like, because like I already do that at work. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of like I want something laid back, but I really like you guys' format because y'all be shooting the breeze. Y'all be like, it's like barbershop talk.
Yeah,
like
and that's what we want our guests to be like. We want to talk about what you do and how you do and like how you get into it and stuff like that. But I want the audience to see people in a different light. You know, they know how you are. You know, as a day to day as a therapist, but they don't know your thoughts on this, your thoughts on that. Like what's like and what's your personality like, So
absolutely, I appreciate that.
That's how we try to do it, man. But we appreciate you for coming on.
Absolutely.
We're going to get you on for the rest of your Sunday. Game 7 tonight, last predictions.
Game 7, yes.
Your last predictions, what you got, Pacers?
Man, I want the Pacers to win, but they're going to be in OKC.
Okay.
So who
you going for? What's your last pick? Before we get out here, we already win,
but I want Pacers to win.
Pacers, but think OKC.
Yeah, because
I'm the same way. But I think the pathway is a lot clearer for me now. I think this one doesn't. Neither teams go over 100, which would be the first time in the series. It's going to look like the
real ugly.
Yeah, like the Golden State. Is that the last Game 7 we had in the finals? Golden State and Cleveland. Yeah, it's going to be real knockdown, drag out. That's what I'm hoping for.
This is what we love about sports, man. Overtime. Game 7, man.
I'm predicting overtime.
Predicting overtime? Okay. All right. So watch the games. Tap into the Fully Connected podcast, man. They got great episodes. You can find the episode with your boy on there if you want to go back and listen to it, man. But he's interviewed a lot of Wichita local people that's doing a lot of great things. So tap in. We may have something going on in the future where we collab on, man. But always work with people that's doing the same field as you. It's not a competition. Absolutely. We all working together, and we all, his audience can be our audience can be his audience, man. Everybody got enough time in the day to watch a podcast, So it don't got to just be the workshop. You can watch the workshop today, and then tomorrow you can go tap into Fully Connected, man.
That's facts.
So
I'll be watching hella podcasts, just like on YouTube. So it's like, you're right.
For sure. But anything else before we get up out of here?
Man, you said it all, brother. I appreciate it.
Game 7 tonight, man. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, no problem. And just like that, we out. Holla.
Never too late.